Okay, Kafka Skier, welcome to my channel. Let's continue to talk about Apache Kafka. So let's discuss a little bit the architecture of Kafka. So basically, we need to understand a little bit the Apache Zookeeper, the brokers, producers, consumers, some things that we mentioned in the last video. So let's start from the Zookeeper. What is the Zookeeper, right? We can open the project here. If you can go in the official website documentation, Zookeeper basically is not only Kafka uses Zookeeper, right? You can use it to coordinate distributed systems. So a lot of other systems use Zookeeper, but as you know, or if you don't know, you will know. Zookeeper is decommissioned because Kafka have a new protocol. The name is Raft, the KRaft or Craft. But let's talk a little bit to Kafka with Zookeeper because I know a lot of companies still using Zookeeper, right? Everyone start to migrate, everyone start to do some things. Yeah, I have some videos regarding how we can implement the craft and how you can do the migration, right? But right now, just to understand a little bit how things work. So basically, Kafka, to work with Kafka in the past, right? You need to run a Zookeeper servers because brokers depends of the Zookeeper. So first you need to run Zookeepers and so the brokers, the Kafka brokers, and so you can start to use, right? Producers and consumers can write and read from Kafka. But how the Zookeepers works? Basically, it's a quorum, right? So you have the minimal. You have can one server, three servers, five servers. But Zookeeper have some limitation, like the number of partitions, the administration of the clusters is the Zookeeper do. You can use for fall detection and restoration. You can store ACL and secrets inside Zookeeper. So basically, all the metadata from Kafka is stored on Zookeeper, right? It's Zookeeper that Kafka uses Zookeeper to do the administration, to restore the restoration for Kafka, how the Kafka can works, to store ACL and secrets inside Zookeeper, right? So this is a kind of important thing to understood because I'm not sure if in the current Kafka administration, as far as I remember, it's updated, right? And you have a craft protocol in the new certification, but it's important to understand a little bit how the Zookeeper works and what is the purpose of the Zookeeper. We can, yeah, it's the same link. I save it here. But it's basically that's it. You need the Zookeeper to Kafka run, to the brokers run, right? But now we have the Raft, the Kafka Raft. The Raft is a kind of not as really new thing, is existent for the other system too, and is adapted to Kafka to start to use. Is more faster to Kafka to synchronize. Is shooting for scratch, right? To this propose, and basically, so Kafka have a leaders and followers, right? And Zookeeper is a kernel. But the difference here, you can, for the developer and propose, you can use a broken and controller at the same broker, but attention just to development environment, not use this in production. And yeah, as I mentioned, brokers basically is leader and follower, the same here, right? Leader and follower. But for the controllers nodes, you is a quorum, and the recommendation is 3 or 5, depends of the size of your cluster, not more than 3 or 5. It's, I mean, normally use it 3 or 5, right? Depends of your use case and if you want a fault tolerance and more resilient survive and some kind of restart a lot of controllers at the same time, something like that. So let's understand a little bit more about the concepts, right? The topics. What is the topics? So basically, topics is a logical representation for the producers, which covered in producing and consumers. So basically, producers need a topic, right? You need to understand here. Each producers want to know which topic I will produce, and consumers need to know which topics I will consume messages. And topics to increase the parallelism, you can increase the transfer rate or throughput to Kafka. You can split one topic to many partitions. So if you want more throughput in Kafka, you can use a topic with more partitions. If you have more partitions, you can grow up your throughput, right? You can increase your transfer rate. So one topic can have many partitions, but one partition doesn't have many topics. And topic is a logical representation of partitions, which is this. What does it mean? Basically, the topics is a logical representation, and partitions it's which is storing brokers in segment file. I will explain this better. Okay, so basically you have here the Kafka cluster, right? And I have a topic 1, 2, 3. Let's see the topic 2. So inside topic 2, you have partition 1, partition 2, partition 3. So in my partition 2, I have segments. So basically here in topic 2, you have the topic 2 partition folder, and inside this folder you have the segments. We will do you will go to the command line. You can understand a bit better these things. So basically, we have the producers that want to write a topic, and the consumers that will consume this one. And so basically, you have a brokers, the server one, server N. You can have a lot of servers to, and you have so inside the brokers the partitions, right? And these partitions you have this segment. So let's go to the command line. Basically, I create a lot of things here. You can follow whatever you want, what is the best option to you. You can use it from Windows, PowerShell, Linux, but I recommend you to use the Docker desktop in your machine, and we can start to use and install. If you want, you can install from scratch Kafka. I see you have the commands here, how you can start. You can start if you want, you can use KRaft. And but I mean, what I recommend you, let's use the official Kafka Docker container. It's easy to start. It's better and more. You can do this quickly, right? So let's go. Here I am inside the Kafka container. So basically here inside the OPT, you have a Kafka folder. Inside Kafka folder, you have all the things we need to start to run Kafka. So basically I would like to just start to Kafka, but before I start Kafka, I need to do this kind of thing. So this is because I will run with KRaft configuration, we need to create a random ID to Kafka, and so go to the Kafka storage format standalone, right? And format this or storage to create our metadata information. So you don't need to care. I do not explain this right now. Just copy paste and up and running Kafka. So you can put here Kafka to start, and yeah, you can see Kafka is started, right? But I mean, if we can run Kafka as a daemon, right? So daemon can put it this way here, yeah, and our Kafka is running, right? And we now inside the container, we can check what is the important things, important configurations. So inside the configs here, you can check this server properties is the most important configuration for Kafka. Basically, all the configuration for the brokers, you can check here inside this guy. If you check in my server properties configuration, process role is broker and controller because it's development environment and we just want to do some tests here, right? And we have a lot of configuration. I do not explain all the configs here, but just to know, just to our first contact on the server properties, that it's very important guy here. And another thing is important to know, it's the binary of the Kafka binary. You have a lot of Kafka binary here, but the first thing I want to use is Kafka topic because I want to create a topic, right? If I want to create a topic, I can use this one. So if I don't know the commands, I just can, you can execute the Kafka topic and you can see this help and this, you can check what you want to do. You can create, describe, delete, or change a topic, but I need to specify what kind of broker I want. So I need to use the Bootstrap server, in my case, localhost. Sorry, localhost, the Kafka port. But I need more information because I want a topic. What name a topic? My topic, test topic. And what I want is create topic. Create. So yeah, that's it. It's created. Now I want to describe this topic. It's just change here and put describe, and I can describe the topic. So you can see the topic creation. This is partitions 0, either 1, because 1, because we have only one broker, right? So it's just this broker. We don't have any other broker, but we will go and I try to explain next videos what's the leader, replicas, in sync replicas, and all these things here to help you to understand more about Kafka replication factory and all these concepts. But so we have here the Kafka, as far as remember, yeah, the KRaft combine logs here. You can see my yeah, so my topic here. So I created a topic, right? Test. But as far as you can see, it's created a folder in my repository, that data repository. If you check opt Kafka conf server properties, you can see a data, the number of partitions. No, but TMP, yeah, logs here. So this is the place as configured that all the topics created will live here. So if you want to a different storage, different place, you need to change this parameter here. Basically, so the topics created will live here, and you can see our topic is created here. And why is test 0? Because this test, the name of the topic is 0. It's because it is the partition 0. If I created 3 other partitions, so you can see the folder test 0, test 1, test 2, right? So we can go inside the test 0 partition and you can see the metadata information of this topic or segments of this specific partition here or this topic here. So if you start to produce a messages, all the messages will live here inside the log, and the logs will create the index, the time index, etc. I plan to create a video to explain what this logs, index, time index, partition metadata, etc. means, to try to help you to understand a little bit more Kafka. But this is just introduction, right? Just to know a little bit about Kafka. So let's back to this. So I try to cover here more about Kafka, start our first Kafka, and explain some concepts, basic the basic architecture from Kafka, right? Zookeeper, producers, craft, topics, partitions, segments, and that it is an important thing to you to understood. And yeah, if you have any question, please send me. I will try to help you if I can.